Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to be explaining is how you do cross product between vectors when it's written in forms of I, j, and k. So the formula for this is a2 times a3 minus a3 times a2 times I minus a1 times a3 minus a3 times a1 times j plus a1 times a2 minus a2 times a1 times k. So like it sounds a little bit confusing, but like I'll just write it out it'll be written out in the notes section of the packet, so like you won't really have to go through this as long as you know how to like actually solve the problem. So the way that you're going to solve this problem is you're going to do another like box like in the previous example or matrix. So you're going to put I, j, and k up at top. And then if you remember, right, A is equal to j plus 7k and B is equal to 2I minus j plus 4k. So whenever it doesn't give you like an I, you're going to fill in a 0 or any letter for that matter. So since there's no I given for A, we're going to put a 0 in, and then j is just j, so we're going to put a 1 in. And then k is 7. So then we're going to put 2i in, or a 2, because b is 2i, and then minus j, so a negative 1. And then we're going to put a 4 in because it's plus 4k. So then the first step is, so for I, what we're going to do is you're going to take the cross product basically between j and k. So in order to do this, you're going to do 4 times 1. So you're going to get 4, and then you're going to minus, and then you're going to do negative 1 times 7. And if you're following the formula, this is lining up with that. So then it'll be minus a negative 7, and then if you remember, we're going to multiply that by I. So then we're going to subtract j, because we're going to subtract, and then we're going to get 0 because we're going to multiply 0 times 4. So this one, it's kind of hard to draw out, so you're just going to get 0, and then you're going to subtract that from 14. And then you're going to write the j in, and then we're going to add. So then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do negative 1 times 0 to get 0. And then we're going to subtract a 2, and that's what we get from multiplying 2 and 1. And then don't forget to add or multiply that by k. So then when that's all said and done, we're going to get 11i, since this is a negative 14 and this is a negative, it's going to become a positive 14j. And then we're going to add, we're going to subtract negative 2k.